The Ghost in the Bell Tower. The village of Mudman lay in the shadow of an abandoned monastery, its stone spires reaching toward the heavens like skeletal fingers. For years the place had been forsaken, left to ruin after war and plague had stolen away its last inhabitants. Yet each night as the moon rose high, the great bell in the tower tolled, its mournful chime carrying across the valley. No living soul dared approach, for the villagers spoke of a ghost bound to its depths, forever ringing the bell in sorrow. But Thamers was no ordinary soul. A knight of unwavering courage, she had spent years riding the length of the land, heeding calls for justice where others hesitated. When she arrived at Mudman and heard the villagers' fearful whispers, she made her decision. That very night, armed with her sword and lantern, she ascended the winding path to the monastery. The air grew thick with silence as she crossed the threshold into the ruined halls. Moonlight filtered through shattered stained glass, casting ghostly hues upon the stone floors. Dust coated the remnants of wooden pews, and ivy curled around forgotten altars. Yet there was no sign of life, nor of the dead. Then the bell tolled. Thamers followed the sound up a spiraling staircase, her boots echoing against the worn steps. The higher she climbed, the colder the air grew, until her breath hung before her in silver mist. As she reached the belfry, she found the great iron bell swaying gently, though there was no wind to move it. She was not alone. A figure stood beside the bell, half shrouded in shadow. It was a man clad in the armor of a long-dead order, his spectral form flickering like candlelight. His gaunt face bore the sorrow of ages, and his hands, though insubstantial, gripped the bell's rope. "You have come," the ghostly knight murmured. His voice was weary, hollow, as though time had worn it thin. At last. Thamers held her ground. "Who are you?" "I was Sir Bruce, guardian of this monastery." The spirit's pale eyes met hers, filled with a longing that chilled her more than the night air. "I swore an oath to protect these halls until my dying breath. But death came too swiftly and my vow remained unfulfilled." He turned toward the valley beyond. "The bell was my warning to the people, a call to shelter when danger approached. When I fell in battle, the monastery was abandoned and none remained to heed its chime. But my duty was not done. So I ring the bell still though no one listens." Thamers's grip on her sword tightened. "Then let me listen." The spirit regarded her for a long moment, then nodded. "There is one final toll to be made. A last warning." With a gesture he bid her look beyond the valley, where torches glimmered like stars against the dark. Riders on horseback moving toward Mudman. "A raiding party," Thamers breathed. "Unless they are stopped, the village will burn." Sir Bruce stepped back. "Take up my duty. Ride to the people. Sound the alarm and my spirit shall rest." Without hesitation, Thamers descended the tower and mounted her steed. She rode with the wind at her back, her voice carrying across Mudman as she called for the villagers to rise. By the time the raiders came, the town was ready. With torches, spears and barricades they stood their ground, and by dawn the threat was no more. As the first light of morning touched the bell tower, Thamers returned. The great iron bell stood still. The spectral night was gone. From that night forward, the bell of the monastery never rang again, and Sir Bruce's watch was finally over. But in the annals of Mudman, they would always remember the knight who listened to the ghost's warning, and the village she saved because of it.